We're not wasting any time in Survivor 42. We've got a particularly brutal immunity challenge this week and advantages left and right, that is if Mike can find them. We've got blindfolds, we've got another shot in the dark, we've got a soccer sentiment that would make Ted Lasso cry, and we've got an unexpected admission of love. What is going on this season? It's kind of everything. Let's talk season 42, episode 2 of Survivor. I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call. Picking up with 𝐒𝐶 after they voted off superfan Zach last week, Tori is definitely feeling shaken. She admits that she almost, for a second, wished that they had sent her home because the conditions are so brutal at camp and she doesn't really seem to have much of a way forward in the game. Well, that is until Drea proposes that she, Tori, and Swati create a girls' alliance, which yay, love those, and then she tells them about her extra vote advantage. How long is it going to take these players to figure out you need to shut up about your advantages? I feel like I'm screaming into the void here. Drea's already a strong player, now she's got an extra vote. Tori and Swati, rightfully, are like, hey, you know that alliance we formed just a second ago? Yeah, no, that's done. We gotta get Drea out. She's got too much power in the game. Listen, I love Drea, but that's her own fault. Loose lips sink ships. Over on Vati, Jenny and Chanel find this massive hermit crab to bring back to camp, and hey, who's a vegan has to decide what to do. Remember, this is the first season these players have seen where there's no guaranteed rice, and so Hay has to decide between his convictions and actually sustaining himself for the challenges. Ultimately, he chooses to nibble on some crab, and I hope he's able to let go of his guilt. I mean, this is really the definition of extenuating circumstances. Mike, meanwhile, comes across what he thinks is an immunity idol, but it's actually one of those tricky 3-part idols from last season. To activate his part of the idol, he has to say in an immunity challenge, "There is such grace in a game of soccer, it makes me cry." And then he can't vote until the other 2 tribes find their immunity idol and activate it with their weird phrase. Also, I argue that soccer is a little easier to bring up than broccoli being little trees. I mean, come on, if we're gonna do weird phrases, I want weird. Again, with telling people about your advantages, he tells Jenny and Daniel, who tells Chanel, who pitches getting Mike out because it's kind of a liability. Also, I just about lost my mind when Mike lost his idol for a moment. Like, didn't know where he put it. I can't, bro. Meanwhile, over on Taku, we've got Jonathan and Omar forming this adorable little brains versus brawn bromance. They couldn't be more different than one another, but already their friendship they're forming is one of my favorite parts of a season, and it could be very valuable moving forward. Also, everyone's kind of getting tired of Maryanne's non-stopness. And well, obviously she's like the biggest sweetheart. I get it. I don't want to tell her to tone it down because that's totally herself, but also you get voted out for things like that, so maybe she should just find a moment of silence. Also on the outs is Mariah, for kind of the opposite reason. They say she's a little low energy. But I get it. We learned that her brother was the first US healthcare worker to die of COVID, which is so sad. And she said she's out here on the island trying to get closure. Well, immunity is now up for grabs, and Maryanne is devastated to see that Zach is gone because she tells Probst he looked like every white boy she's ever had a crush on, and she was already kind of building that picket fence in her head. Oh my gosh, she is so charming, isn't she? That's how she gets away with this. The challenge? One caller must guide their blindfolded teammates through a set of obstacles to get puzzle pieces, and then they have to put together the puzzle still blindfolded. Now, I never tire of watching people bounce off obstacles like a pinball in these challenges, but Roxroy, oh my god.
You gotta protect the balls, Roxroy.
Vati secures the W, and 𝐒𝐶 grabs the other immunity just barely, which means Taku is heading to Tribal. It's looking like either Maryanne or Mariah, and Mariah said she's bringing her shot in the dark to Tribal either way. Meanwhile, Maryanne gets caught kind of looking for an idol, and that's always so awkward either way. I don't know why, though. Anyone would do that. At Tribal, Maryanne goes on a little monologue about the shot in the dark and finding love, being single. I don't know. I kind of stopped following, but Jeff was smiling. That's always good. It's time to vote, and that's where Maryanne finds out that she got an extra vote from her little hike the other week, and she's saving that for later. Now, Mariah does take her shot in the dark, but it's a dud. And unsurprisingly, she is the 3rd person to leave the island. Okay, I think I know what it is. I think Maryanne gives off big little sister energy where you're like, oh my god, and then someone brings up her name for Tribal and it's like, don't you touch her. I guess we'll see if the players feel the same. Like and subscribe for more recaps and interviews with some of your favorite celebrities, and head over to popculture.com for more entertainment news. Until next time, I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call.